What's going on, guys? It is MindShaz here, bringing us another Fortnite video. Now, in today's video, of course, we are going to be talking about which items and weapons I think are going to be thrown into the vault. Now, if you guys don't know exactly what the vault is, it is basically Epic's way of taking guns out to add more guns to the loot pool. So, for example, they have taken out, I believe, the regular SMG and the smoke grenades. And as a result of that, they've added things like the guided missile, the remote explosives, the heavy shotguns, so on and so forth. So that's basically their system, is they take some guns out for the vault, and they're reserved for later. I mean, maybe after changes, they might be added back, or they're permanently removed. Only time will tell the fate of the weapons that are in the vault. So to begin with this whole vault thing, on February 9th, not too long ago, before the Season 2 update, the regular submachine gun was vaulted, and it states in the article, in the patch notes, next week we'll be putting our first weapon, the submachine gun, into the vault. These weapons may or may not return, and this allows us to manage the weapon pool as we introduce newer weapons. So, obviously, if you guys do remember, the regular submachine gun was pretty much a meme in the Fortnite community, and it was the worst gun in Fortnite. And yeah, I mean, that pretty much deserves that. It was pretty darn bad. I mean, if you saw it glowing, you automatically were like, this is going to be a bad day. It's also really not missed, but honestly, this is a solid step in the right direction, as Epic has introduced a large number of new items to the loot pool. So I'm glad that they aren't oversaturating the loot in the game, because if you never saw an assault rifle because there's just 38 different guns in the loot pool, that would kind of suck. So obviously then, as you guys know, later on March 15th, which was less than a month ago, the smoke grenades were added to the vault. Epic talked about their reasoning being that it wasn't performing up to the standards they wanted it to. Whether or not smokes are coming back is up to them, but again, it was an underwhelming item, and nobody really used it too much except for like the first day. People figured out, okay, it's a plume of smoke, you can't see me, kind of. I mean, you get like 5 of them or something. They're pretty bad, okay? Didn't do damage, they were just a means of escape. So, I mean, they weren't really desirable, especially when you have the limited number of inventory slots. You want to keep things that are going to do damage for you. So, it seems monthly they've been adding items or weapons to the vault. What will join the SMG and the smoke grenade, who knows? I have some predictions, that's what I'm going to be talking about in this video. So, if you guys want to put what you think I will be talking about, what will be added to the vault next, as it is April, and it looks like vaulting time is coming. And with all the new weapons that have been leaked, and all the new weapons that have been added, I think a vaulted weapon is going to be due here pretty soon. So what do you guys think will be vaulted before I get into it? And to determine these weapons or items that I think will be put in the vault, I had to think of the pickup factor. Now, the pickup factor is basically a term I made up, and it's the question of, am I going to waste an inventory slot for this item? Weapons and items like the chug jug or the assault rifle have a very high pickup factor, whereas the pistol, like the regular pistol and the crossbow, they're kind of on the lower end of the spectrum in regards to the pickup factor. Now, in the end, I have come to 4 items that I think will be vaulted next. I will, of course, be going into those in just a second. But yeah, think of that, the pickup factor, and put in the comments down below what guns you think should be vaulted within the next update that will actually add a weapon to the vault. I do want to see some space cleared for some new weapons. I think we need a weapon that's not a guided missile or a remote explosive. Okay, we have a lot of explosives. So it would be nice to see like an actual different weapon come into the game, and especially one for the light bullets, because that's basically being dominated by the tactical submachine guns. So that P90 I talked about in the last video, come on in. Alright, so to begin, the suppressed SMG is, I think, getting thrown into the vault. The suppressed SMG is pretty darn underwhelming as a weapon overall. I mean, the tactical submachine gun already dominates the SMG category, and initially the suppressed version wasn't exciting already. It's basically the same as the regular SMG, but with a different weapon model, and of course it's silenced, so it's a little bit quieter. But really, it is an underwhelming weapon, honestly. This, paired with the possible upcoming release of the P90 that I talked about in the last video, makes me think that they're going to be clearing some space. I'm sorry, suppressed submachine gun, you just aren't very good. when I see a suppressed SMG in a house, because they are somewhat common now, I am just like, what is going on here? Why is this in the game? Now, the only thing that could take away from this is that it would affect the sneaky silencers limited time mode, as the silenced pistol and the suppressed SMG are, I believe, the only silenced weapons in the game, unless I'm completely missing one. I mean, the crossbow is pretty quiet, but that thing's absolute garbage too. Not in this video, but it's pretty bad. Anyways, suppressed SMG for the first one. I'm sorry. You just aren't a good weapon, and I don't like you, and a lot of people don't like you, so you're going in the vault. Moving on to the second weapon I think will be put in the vault, we have the Revolver. Now tell me, how many times have you dropped into Retail Row, about to encounter some other person who went to the doghouse with you, and you see medium bullets thinking, this is my time to shine. I got an assault rifle right off the bat, this guy is just gooning around with nothing yet. You're like, yeah, I'm going to get this assault rifle. You get closer and lay your eyes on a revolver, and you realize it's game over. Next thing you know, you hear 14 tack shotty shots rain on your parade, and then you're just back in the lobby just waiting to ready up for another game. It's a really dreadful experience ever since they changed it to medium bullets for the revolver. I really just think this weapon is a trash weapon, as it is nice to have that extra medium ammo for your AR on backup when you do run past one. But really, if it's wasting medium bullets, what's the point? I mean, the revolver is just bad in general, especially with bloom and shots being just so inconsistent. I mean, the hand cannon can easily replace this, although it is a little bit more rare. But also, I mean, the consistency of that thing is trash as well, so it's really hard to judge. But I actually kind of like the hand cannon. Anyways, going back to the revolver, I hate the revolver. From gray to blue, they all stink, and although they're cool, I do like the weapon model and things like that, they're just bad. The pickup factor, unless you're obligated to, is about 0 for me, and I honestly wouldn't miss it, because it's just an annoying gun to see. Alright, I don't like opening a chest and getting a revolver. Yeah, the medium ammo is nice, but why would I need to use a revolver with its medium ammo if I have an assault rifle, which is way better at putting damage out? I don't know. It's just a trash gun, so I'm sorry, Revolver. I want to see you get vaulted. Third item on my list here is the regular grenades. Now, out of all the things I'm talking about in this video, I think this is the least worthy one, but I mean, come on. We have a ridiculous amount of explosives. I mean, recently, just a crazy amount, and this particular item doesn't even compete with half of them. It doesn't have the unique factor like the boogie bomb, the fun factor, the impulses, and the C4s aren't great, but they're new and they're different because you have a remote device to explode them when you want to. Plus, we have grenade launchers, rocket launchers, and guided missiles, so these are just an annoyance if anything. If anyone is throwing, and hey, you maybe have 9 in the inventory, because that's happened to me, just throwing 9 grenades. They're just going to be a big old annoyance, and they're just going to be irritating instead of doing much work. Again, this is the item I can see that least leaving, but they're still just in a category of items being explosives that is becoming saturated in the game, like when they added smoke grenades. I mean, they're just underwhelming, not worth it, and just take up space in the loot pool, so I think they would be okay to see vaulted. I would see why they would keep them in the game. I mean, regular grenades are their own thing already, like, it makes sense to keep them in the game, but they're really just not amazing compared to all the other explosives that they've given us. So, those are the first 3. I have one more that I'm going to talk about. And, oh boy, this item is definitely my least favorite item in the game. It's just a troll item at this point, and it's the bush. The stupid bush. When this was added, I actually thought that it was going to be super annoying and overpowered. And obviously I overreacted big time. Now, before this came into the game, bush camping was still somewhat unexpected, and it was a big issue. And I don't exactly remember the date of when it came into the game, but I do remember bush camping was at an all-time high. Yes, it's still in the game, and it still is annoying, but it's a lot more easy to detect, and it's always in the back of your mind when you're one of the last people to ensure that the bushes are clear of any enemies. It started off as a cool thing, but honestly now it's just a joke, and when I see one, I'll either use it immediately because I think it just looks funny, and then I'll obviously die accordingly because you're just a deer in headlights, or I'll just leave it there like it should be left there. It being legendary as well is like a slap in the face, but honestly, it staying in the game would be fine for me. It does make me laugh when I see someone trying to be sly and stealthy in a green bush while being in a wooden tower. It's pretty funny. It makes a very big target on your head and basically puts a bounty on your head when you have a bush. So, yeah, pretty bad item to use. Also, I just think it's stupid. There's a ton of bushes in the game. Why don't people just use those? There's no reason that you should be dressing up as a bush. You're not very well camouflaged, to be quite honest. So, those are the 4 different items I think will be vaulted with the next round of... I don't know what to call it, but they have been vaulting different weapons and items with the smoke grenade and regular SMG, so we'll see what happens this month if they actually do put something into the vault to open up more loot options. Other than that, I think there are a few other weapons that don't really need to be in the game already, but they're somewhat new, so I can understand why they stay. So that's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, definitely drop a like. If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe for more Fortnite content. I love you guys so much. It's been your boy MindShaz. I hope you had an amazing day, everybody, and peace out.